Hello and welcome to yet another Sit and Talk, our fifth Sit and Talk. With me, Lee, and Deacon. It's quite a personal.
It's a one-on-one. It's like a counselling session.
The proper. We're not go into depth, but everybody that's been on the walk knows my story. So how it all come about. First of all, how are you, Deacon?
I'm okay. Last few days have been quite good. The weather hasn't been that good. It was like today was bad, but yesterday was like the rain was awful. On a positive note, though, there was no queues going into Tesco yesterday because nobody wanted to stand outside. So silver linings and all that. But no, the world is still continuing on and marching forward, which is exactly what we need to be doing in the current climate. I just hope it just gets back to normality as ASAP, to be honest with you.
Obviously,
how about yourself?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, mate. I've been really struggling this week. It's really hit me. I've been quite quiet and not being responsive to a lot of stuff. I feel like I have no energy, man. It's proper surreal. But
it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah,
it affects people differently. Obviously, I think it was when we were speaking to Pete Trainer about the Valor Health thing. I briefly mentioned the incident that I was involved in regards to the London Bridge terrorist attack when I was apprehending a murderer, not knowing really what I was doing and whatnot. The guy that I was with is a good friend of mine, but he's a work colleague and turned into a good friend of mine, Tom. Really great guy. He was the guy that was on television with me on This Morning, the guy that kind of looks like Johnny Depp that had sex with Harry Potter and had a child. That's who it would be, Tom. But like the first evening after I had a chat with 5 Live, because I wanted to do only live stuff so they wouldn't misinterpret my words or misconstrue anything, because that can be done with media, as proven many, many times.
Yeah.
That evening I did kind of, have involuntary shakes, and I was really, obviously all the adrenaline throughout the day had kind of worn off, and for the evening I was really crumbling. But it affects people differently. Tom managed to be, he was relatively all right for a while. Then he went a bit quiet and stuff like that, and we haven't really spoken about how he's felt. Sometimes he goes a bit MIA, should we say. Whether or not he'll admit there's an issue there or not, he likes to think of, he's a good guy, but he likes to think of himself that he can handle things mentally. He's a lot younger than I am. But as proven, this week has been relatively all right for me, actually, in regards. I think it's once again to do with the structure in my streaming. You obviously popped into one of my streams, and the community all said hello to you and everything like that. I've got a very close-knit community. They're all wonderful people. And I think that's what's given me a little bit of purpose in these really quiet times and everything like that. But it's exactly right, though, what you're saying. This week's been okay for me, but then for you, it's been polar opposite.
It's been totally polar opposite this week. I'll say for the last week, it's been a little bit of a slug for me. It has been hard. I got in touch with Kimberly, who was our winner last week, which, I'm not being funny, last week's show was absolutely superb.
It was a lot of fun. I loved it.
I think we've spoken offline, and I think we'll probably do that again.
100%.
I've got enough shirts to do that. Excuse me. But obviously with today's show is quite personal, and obviously we're getting a lot of messages from people that have walked and obviously know the story as to how it's come about. But I kind of want to give people that's outside the community to understand why this was started. We go back 10 years.
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
great idea, because a lot of people like the idea of walk and talk, but when you break it down to them a lot more, they realize it's actually a really great idea. And some of the ideas are some of the more simple ideas, but you just develop them a little bit more. Some of the biggest companies, some of the, look at Apple. They got the MP3 player, because MP3 players were really, really big, all the rage at some point. And then the iPod was created. It was just a simpler, sleeker version of the model. And it blew up. It blew up, and that's exactly what walk and talk is. It's a very simple idea, but once again, sometimes the simple ideas get overlooked, and people try and think, oh, maybe simple ideas are not going to be as effective. They'll try and overcomplicate it. They'll try and come up with something a little bit more intricate, and then people kind of get lost along the way, and they'll go, what exactly are you doing here? Is it this or is it this? Is it something else? I think you're trying to do too much here, but it's a very simple. Let's walk from A to B and just talk. Obviously, incorporating football, having a couple of drinks and the camaraderie is brilliant, but the basic premise. But once again, as I said, people overlook this stuff. So what you did was, but 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I was going through a really bad patch, which I'm not going to go into. I'll rather save that for face-to-face talking, if I'm honest. But I had a massive family breakdown, and that was it. I wanted out. All the intents and purposes were going out. I wanted to take my own life. Thankfully, I didn't. I went straight, literally left work and went to my GP. Broke down, spoke to my GP, and
did you get one of those? Did you get one of those forms to fill in?
Do you know what? If I'm honest,
you can't remember.
Do you know what? My mind was all over the place, mate. I didn't know whether I was coming or going, what was happening, who was who. I was absolutely in this bubble. All I remember was talking to the GP, crying my eyes out, and literally he marched me down to a psychiatric unit. So
wow.
Subsequently, I was pushed into there, and I'm not too sure. It was either 2 weeks or a month that I spent there, and I couldn't go out. My family were coming. My family are great, man. My mum and dad, my brother, they were all like really upset. Why couldn't you talk? Why didn't you do this? Why couldn't we do this? And they were lost ends really, and I just didn't want to be here. I just generally had no purpose. And
sorry to interrupt, but that infuriates me when people say, as much as I know that it's coming from good intentions and stuff like that, but it infuriates me when people say, oh, well, why don't you do this? And it's like, holy flipping hell, why didn't I do this? Oh my God.
You're right.
At the end of the day, it's easier said than done. If I can literally pull something out of my brain to stop me having trains of thoughts as I was or as you were, I think the human race would be a lot better overall. But unfortunately, that's not one of our human characteristics that we've possibly developed yet. Maybe, I don't know, 500 years will unlock more of the brain and we'll be able to access parts of it like a hard drive.
No, possibly, but you go back through that situation, and I was broken. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I didn't want to be here. There was receptionist, a black fella. I can't remember his name. He was the loveliest guy I've ever met in my life, and he would always come see me. And I'll go outside for a cigarette, and he would be speaking to me. He was just. I got released, and I gave him a massive, massive hug. I said, "Thank you so much." And I was told, cut a long story short, I was told the crisis team are going to come see you at home. Subsequently, they didn't. So what happened is I kind of fell back into life. I fell into work, carried on working. I just led my life as normal as possible. Is that a word?
Well, yeah. As much as I don't believe in the word normal, I don't think there's anything as normal. I think everyone is non-normal.
Massively.
I don't think anything's normal. I think everyone's just got their own version of what that means. But you tucked yourself in, you got yourself involved, you chucked yourself into the deep end, got yourself busy, kept your mind busy, so you weren't. Because everyone says this. I think that's probably one of the more common terms. Is your brain is sometimes your own worst enemy, especially when you're on your own and left with your own thoughts. I have battles with my brain more than I have battles with other human beings combined in the space of a week. Easily.
Likewise. So I got released from the psychiatric unit, and I fell back in. The crisis team are going to come along. They never did. Okay, so I was left to my own devices. I didn't know whether I was coming or going, but I subsequently fell into line. I was eating shit every day. Chinese, Indian, pizza, going out every night and getting hammered. And
yeah, that's another avenue as well, isn't it? Try and drink your sorrows away, sort of thing.
Massively. I was like literally just going crazy, and I just didn't understand. And then again, 5 years later, I decided to get on my phone in the pub. I was hammered. and I tweeted out something. If I get X amount of tweets, I'll walk from Fulham to Reading for charity.
Love it.
So subsequently, I got these retweets.
Once again, Twitter. You know, it's a different bag sometimes, man. Sometimes it's a completely toxic piece of shit, but sometimes it can create such wonderful things. Before you carry on though, Lee, let's just quickly just say hello to the people that have come and joined us very, very quickly. JS, Sean, Ed, Matthew Bailey, which I know JS and Matthew myself. Ed as well. Hey, what's going on? And Edward Toner. Just want to say hi, guys. We're not ignoring you. We're just spitting the shit, being real. So Lee, you were saying you chucked a tweet out and you got a reaction.
Yeah, I got a massive reaction. I think, argument's sake, I said if I get 15 retweets, I'll walk it.
Oh, setting your numbers low, mate.
I saw it on the map, and it was like that far away. Fulham to Reading was that far away, and I went, yeah. I was prepared to do it all myself, but a very good friend of mine, Luke Driscoll, he got wind of it, and can we just go back about the people that are messaging in? You know, there's
yeah. Hey, how's it going, Paul?
That really, all of them have been on a walk. All of them I know personally, wonderful people. You know, Ed's great, Sean great, Ed superb. Ed's been through his trouble. Ed Toner, he's a great guy and someone that I just love. I just think he's a great guy. He's been through a lot, and you know, massive respect for Ed. We lost contact for 10 years.
Oh wow.
Ed was in a bad place as well. We finally got back together again after, what was it, Fulham versus Watford. And I gave him the biggest hug ever. Great guy. Someone that I thought had passed away and took their own life 10 years later. It hasn't. It's
wow.
A wonderful guy. Back to the story. So I got these retweets and I was going to do, all intents and purposes, doing it on my own. Because back in the day, 5 years ago, men's mental health wasn't spoken about. Male suicide wasn't spoken about. So I found the charities that I wanted to raise money for, and Calm come up. And I got on their website and I'm reading all about Calm, and I was ticking. It was a tick box exercise in the sense that I'm going through that. I felt that.
No, there it is.
And I'm reading everything. I'm reading the biggest killer of men under 45 is suicides.
Yep.
Every day, 12 men commit suicide in the UK. That's one every 2 hours.
That's ridiculous.
To me, that was, sod it, I'm going to swear. To me, that was a massive kick up the bollocks. And I just went, I felt like shit for years. I thought I was the only one. I couldn't talk out. Why couldn't I express my feelings? Why couldn't I talk to someone that was like-minded instead of someone that was a professional that wanted to feed me drugs all the time and tell me that this is okay? Diazepam is one of your drug-ready things. The moment you walk into a GP's office, diazepam is one of the main ones they try and palm off onto you. Always reminds me of Metal Gear Solid. Solid Snake. He uses them to steady his hands when he's taking a sniper shot. And I'm thinking, I'm not ready to assassinate anyone just yet. I just want to try and be happier. So throughout my entire life, actually, I've never taken any antidepressants. It's a short-term fix, but people think of them as a long-term fix, and it's never looked into. You're sort of palmed off with drugs. But that's the situation again with socialized healthcare. Obviously, we can go on a massive rant about that. It's massively underfunded because there's only so much we can do in helping so many people. And the problem is they can't focus in certain areas as finely tuned as they would like. So there are upsides to it and there are downsides to it. I wish and hope we obviously get the better balance in the future. But mental health is definitely one of them. So you were ticking some boxes on a Calm website. I knew you'd do it eventually. Ticking the boxes, Lee. Yeah, definitely. So I was at that point that it really woke me up that people are suffering, men are suffering. And I found Calm, so I spoke to Calm, got involved. They were a small charity at the time. And go back to Luke Driscoll, he said, "Are you doing this on your own?" I said, "Yeah, mate, I'm fine. I could do it overnight, 44 miles. I'll piss it." To be honest, it was probably one of the hardest things. I didn't train. I was just like,
You never do for your first one. You're just like, yeah, I got this. I'm a man. Ooh.
I think adrenaline and passion,
Sure.
fire just grips me. And I got, again, cut a long story short, we got to the ground. And me and Luke opened up about everything. I know Luke like back of my hand, and he was really open with me. Likewise, I was open with him. And we got to the ground, and a load of Fulham fans were congratulating us. And I just looked and I went, this ain't about us, man. This needs to be spoken about. So I that was towards the end of the season. And I went, right, next season, I'm going to cycle places. I want to jazz it up a little bit.
Oh.
And I got in touch with a good mate of mine, Morgan. And I cycled from Fulham to Preston, which is 250 miles, which, mate, my bum hole was bleeding. mate,
you should have grim warning.
Mate, it was.
He's got in detail.
Mate, it was awful. It was awful. It was just tragic, but it was something that I was so passionate about, and I go back to what I was saying. I like trying to raise money for Calm and so forth, and people talking, and I was basically alienated because people didn't understand. And obviously, we went fast forward today. People understand that men have a big problem. But for the last 5 years, I've been trying to get men to open up and talk.
It's difficult.
Yeah, mate, and I've used football as a massive tool. And I'm going to say this right now. Tony Khan, the Fulham chairman's son, has been absolutely amazing with all this. You know, I'm a Fulham fan, although on the social media, I try to keep everybody happy. You know, Notts County, Palace, and so forth. Keep everybody happy.
Apart from Tottenham fans. I'm joking. That's just me. When it comes to football, Tottenham. But when it comes to this, obviously that football does. That's just why we're together. But you know, supporting each other is much more important. So, you know, if a Tottenham fan wants to come and talk to me, I'm more than happy to talk. I've had Tottenham fans within my community. So, you know, my Twitch community, we talk about a lot of football. We play a lot of football and stuff like that. So we're always talking. I'm always talking to Tottenham fans. We just have a bit of banter, so all a laugh, not to be taken seriously. But yeah, you're completely right. Sometimes sometimes people find it hard to find you know, try and overlook the divides. Sorry,
it's like common ground because I was banging my head, going, I've wasted 5 years of my life living a lie, like trying to get up for work in the morning, trying and just suppressing it with drink and so, you know. Thankfully,
it's easy.
Drug avenue. Thankfully, I didn't. There was a mass opportunity, don't get me wrong, but I could have been that person that was just whatever. And I would probably let myself do it because I didn't care. And to try to bring fans together, like we've been on the Palace walk, we've been on Arsenal walk, we've been Notts County, Glasgow, we've been Peterborough, we've been everywhere. And the fans kind of are coming together. It's taken a long time, but to me, I think football saved my life. There's no question about that. No question whatsoever. It was 10 years ago. And I don't know if you've seen my personal Twitter account. It was 10 years ago since Fulham got to the Europa League final tonight, where Paul Gacheski, our fellow guests,
yes,
a good lad, Paul.
Great lad.
He was in that team. And, you know, as I was going through hell, football was there for me. And it took me on this most unbelievable journey that I never envisioned my team getting in. You know, Fulham were always the lower league club, and that's why I love them. But
they still are. They still very much are.
But like obviously, we go back to. I'm not going to talk about myself now, but we go back to everybody else that's been on the walk. I've had meaningful conversations with Ed, Grandad, Sean, Gav, who was on last week's shows in the house. You know, I've had meaningful conversations with him, and I truly believe football is the key to open up the conversation with men. You know, I'm fighting while we're on lockdown. I'm fighting for so much to get what we believe in to the forefront where people can listen, people can help each other. You know, there's nothing like camaraderie. I've met the most amazing people on this walk. You know, people that I've never met in my life. You know, there's a lot of people that I will class very, 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 very close to me, more than people that I've known for many years. And that says a lot about this movement. You know, there's one person that keeps sending me toffee vodka. Every week I get a delivery of toffee vodka because he knows I like it. And I just think to myself, it's just the simple bloody things that can make such a difference. This is not like a friendship. This is a community that's so deep rooted that I am
Exactly.
immensely proud of. That if I did take my life that day, this would never have happened. So I'm very, very, very thankful for everybody that puts in to this walk. You know, Ed Salting walks out, Dan Salting walks out, Paul Price Salting walks out. You know, it's just, to me, it's just bringing that community. And I think I get my buzz. It's not walking the whole way, but listening to everybody's story and hearing their story and changing their lives makes me so proud. Because had I not changed my life, I would not have been here. So this would never have happened. You know,
So you were
5 years this has been going on. 5 years.
So you were saying before you did the bikes, you wanted to jazz things up with bikes and stuff, and you obviously you had some issues with your arse. But what made you? What I know you said you wanted to jazz it up, but what made you want to do bike rides and do longer distances and stuff like that? Wasn't the idea? Obviously, I just want to try and find out what you're thinking, your thought process and everything behind this. But you know, doing the smaller walk, obviously, it's not going to be as taxing. You can maybe do a few more of them. Was the longer ones? Was it about the fact that you were with company for longer, so you could have more chats more often? Or was it just about the distances? Because obviously I know that we all like going for walks. Walks are great because you get to clear your head. And being I love being outside. I'm a massive fan of bushcraft videos on YouTube. Don't get me started, trust me. But was it a mixture of that, or was it just to do something a little bit different, or to just get the dust off the bike and give it a go again?
No, I bought a brand new bike.
Oh wow! Okay, so you really
I hadn't been on a bike since school, so it was
stabilizers to begin with, yeah.
Mate, you don't want to know. I didn't have to work gears. The gears were embedded into the handles. Mate, it's a long story. I explained. Okay. But why did I want to? I think after the first Reading walk with me and Luke, I think the way that people come up to us and congratulated us and them opening up for the first time, the amount of people that I've spoke to that have opened up for the first time is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm not going to talk about people's problems and so forth about certain people. People, sure, they can talk to me and it's all private and we keep it the way it is.
And that's how it should be, of course.
That's the way I believe. And I was mulling over what to do because it got such a reaction that I thought to myself, I should be dead. I shouldn't be here. So let me go to an extreme level to show people that we can get this message out and help so many people. And I was contemplating the bike, and then Morgan got in contact with me, and like I said, it just snowballed, and I done Preston on my own. Then we done Wigan, from Fulham to Wigan, with each other. I absolutely destroyed myself on that one, but he's a great guy, he's a superb lad, and we just pushed each other, and we didn't really know each other at the time, and we were just laughing. We were just like, what the hell are we doing? And it was just something that we get the messages on our phone, they'd like zap on our phone with our Lycra on. Don't get vision, sunshine, I know what you're like. All right. We had like our Lycra on, so the phone was like in here and like along, and you just don't feel like you're getting anywhere, and you're like going along, but then you get messages, come on, you could do it, and it just proper spurs you on. And then obviously we kind of done a season of cycling. Then after that it was walking again, and we done our last one was Fulham to Birmingham, which is 113 miles. There was 10 of us, absolutely amazing crowd.
That's nuts though. That is nuts. Like, I've done long walks before. I've generally go on holiday. I've done parts of the Camino. I've done the King's Walk in Malaga as well. So I do like going for walks. I've done like 150 kilometers here, 150 kilometers there on the Camino, which is a spiritual walk from the French Alps all the way through to Santiago. It's an amazing walk, but it's very, very long. Say, for example, if you wanted to do it like from start to finish, it would take you about, I think it's average about three months, roughly, to do. And it's a beautiful thing. So if you don't know anything about the Camino, I'd suggest just Googling it. Because if you like walking and you want to walk with a purpose, Camino is amazing. Absolutely incredible. But but it's still, that's some long distances that you're putting yourself through yourself. I mean, like no one's forcing you or no one's asking you to do it. You're just doing it for your own need, so to speak.
If I'm honest with you, I'm doing it to get the message out that you're not alone. And, you know, on social media, I tweet people and say, I hope you understand you're not alone. I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I don't mean that in a nasty way. I mean that I think that was the biggest thing about this learning curve.
Yeah.
Is understanding that you are not alone. And I think once I figured that one out, I was just like, I'm going to push myself to a limit. If I break myself, I have broken myself many a times, and I injured myself to a point that I've really hurt myself. But we go back to we'll put a little bit of light on, a little bit of laughter on the situation that we got at the moment. Obviously, it's quite a serious talk. I kind of want to break it up a little bit with a little bit of laughter. Paul messaged in.
Yeah, you're gonna need to give me some information on what the Robin Hood dance is. I'm guessing it happened. Is it in Nottingham? Did you do it in Sherwood Forest? It is.
We were walking from Chesterfield to Notts County.
Yep.
And it was a long walk. Dan, I won't forget the hills. And like literally, I asked him before, "Is there any hills?" And he went, "Oh, 1 or 2." There was about 16, mate. There was unreal.
And they're like this.
They are.
It's annoying as well because in videos and in pictures they never translate. Never.
No.
You can walk up a hill like this, and the camera will make it look like even decline. And it's like, really, camera, you're supposed to be on my side. But so you had 7 hills.
So we were kind of like fatigue was kicking in. We were all tired, but we've all spoken to each other, had a great laugh overnight. So this is what time did we start? 9 o'clock at night, 9:30, and we're going through the night, walking through the night. So I thought to myself, everybody started to flake a little bit, and I just thought to myself, do you know what? Do something different. Make a tit of yourself, Lee. Life is about fucking laughing, and my feet were battered, but I just started to gallop, going Robin Hood, riding through the.
Oh, classic!
And everybody was laughing. I thought to myself, if I have to make a tit of myself, then so be it. I really don't care. You know, we go back to what I said. My total belief is the fact that if you feel like you're alone and you're only feeling this, to understand that there's so many other people out there and try to change everything and bring football into the forefront about it. Because let's be fair, me and you go for a walk. First thing we're going to talk about is not ourselves. It's going to be about football, isn't it? It's
100%.
Well, Arsenal, we talk about Lacazette, Thierry Henry, the great players, the shirts, and so forth, like we done last week. But then you're there for a reason. So that gives you an opportunity to open up and understand that people around you you're not alone. So people around you talking and purely opening up. And I think once you figure that one out, that you're not alone, it is just a massive, massive weight off your shoulders to the point that you breathe a massive sigh of relief. And it's a natural progression that you want to push yourself to the absolute limit, because you shouldn't have been here. You should have took your life. That's the way
sure.
You shouldn't be here. So
every day's a blessing kind of thing.
Flash it out, man. And that's why I like the long walks, because I get to know people so much more. You know,
I thought as much, yeah.
As I said, the longer walks are basically life in a 24-hour period. You know, you set off, you're excited, you're happy, you know, and then you're a kid, basically. You're happy, and there's feeling nothing. Then all of a sudden, you get to that threshold where you start to struggle. you become a teenager. You leave the house. You got the key to the door, and so forth. And then you meet a bird, and it's kind of happy, it's good. But then they're helping you, you're helping them, and then as the night gets on, you start struggling, and then this is where the people come out and just G each other up. It's like this unity is fucking unreal. It just organically happens, and I sit back and I look at this and just go, this is just insane. Why couldn't I have this when I was going through my problems? Why couldn't I have this? This would have made so much of a difference. I wouldn't have wasted 5 years of my life. And obviously I've dedicated.
That's a tricky one. You say waste, but it led you to this point.
Yeah.
I know you say waste, and it's quite easy to say, sometimes we're not happy with the direction that we've gone in life. Sometimes you might get, you go astray. Sometimes you might not be where you want to be financially, family-wise, structure-wise, life-wise, anything. It could be anything. But it all leads to the right, it's all going to lead the right way. That's what I'm saying. And point proven here with Lee, with Walk and Talk. He says those 5 years he wasted, but if it wasn't for those 5 years of realizing that he needs to do something about it, I don't think he would have maybe, who knows, obviously we're only speaking in hindsight here, but who knows, it might not have gone in the direction that you are in now. Quickly, just going to say hi to Talker. Talker, welcome. And he's a brand new member to my community, only a couple of days old, and he's just jumped in here tonight. So I really appreciate you being here, Talker. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. But Lee, you've got it's so easy to say 5 year wasted, but it led you to this point.
Yeah,
it led you to me and you having this conversation now, and we speak every day now. We don't just speak on this. We speak on WhatsApp. We speak all the time. We're always having a laugh with each other, and we've known each other not very long. But as proven, if you're meant to be mates, it doesn't matter if you've met each other a couple of days ago or 6 years ago. If you're meant to be mates, you're meant to be mates. And the love of football and the love of mental health has brought us to having this conversation.
Yeah, totally. Like I done a calculation the other month. We've covered 7,000 miles.
That's crazy.
So that's basically from London to the bottom of Argentina in walking. And it worked out to be 123 days or 2,000 hours of just pure talking.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do for your 10,000th mile? What are you going to do for that? You got to do something special. You've got to do something special.
Plane or something. I don't know. I'll probably do something crazy.
We'll plan something. We've got to do something special for the 10,000th mile.
I need to master the unicycle.
The art of walking. Unicycle. Yes.
I brought a
yes. Where? So I don't think some people haven't seen it yet. I don't even know if you've posted it on social media. Your oversized England shirt. He's got an oversized England shirt, which you won't understand until you see it. I say oversized, but you won't understand. I'm sure at some point he'll share it on his social media or something like that, just as a goof. But I think unicycle and oversized England shirt is definitely the way to go for the 10,000 mile one, where goes from 9,999.
I think Sean has just smashed it there. It's got to be a Champagne and Bracknell roundabout. That's where we spend.
I'm seeing a lot of Yeah, see, I've not done one of these night walks yet, which I want to do. I'm really rubbish at nighttime. Like my mental health. The moment I get up, my mental health's pretty good. But the moment the day progresses towards the evening time, if I haven't had a productive day, my mental health basically just crashes through the floor. But I have seen these night.
I think that's a massive man thing because I suffer that. If I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm right off the whole day. That's me gone. I'm like, I ain't getting out of bed. What's the bloody point? I want to be up at 6 and bashing things out and doing things. But if I get up at 10, I was right off the day, and I don't want to be part
That's it. That's exactly it. So what I like to do is, that's the reason why I stream on Twitch. And I stream Football Manager. I try to every day at 10 a.m. because it gives me structure, it gives me purpose, and then throughout the day, then I can just carry on doing some other stuff. The last few days has been tricky because I've had to go post office and shopping and everything like that in between. But I have seen these nighttime walks that you've been doing, where you've been like just standing around in the middle of a roundabout in the middle of like 3 a.m. or something like that, witching hour, and I've gone, I wouldn't mind doing something like that, and I want to do something like that, but it's just getting the timing right, work wise. Like some people work weekdays. I haven't had a 9 to 5 job now since I was 21. So, and I'm 33 now. To put things into perspective, it's been a very long time since I've had a structured week. So I want to do one of the walks, one in the evening where you kind of walk through the night, because I think it'd be quite good for my mental health. Hated Dimmock as well. What's going on? Another member of the community. Have to say opening up. What did he say? Have to say opening up and talking to other people. And being the only thing that keeps me sane over the past year. 100% love to what you guys do. Thank you very much, man. Needs to spice up his life. I do. So I need to spice up my life by doing an evening walk and then standing around in a roundabout with loads of random blokes.
Do you know what I absolutely adore the long walks, because it is just, you get so much, like, you're on your last legs, you're like broken.
Yeah.
And these people come around you and just G you up. It's bearing in mind, 15 hours prior, you never knew these people. Then all of a sudden they're G'ing you up. They're believing in you. These people, bearing in mind, like family, so forth, for circumstances, people don't G you up. These people that you've never met before are all standing with you and G'ing you on. And to me, I just think to myself, this is just amazing, man. And it is a drug to me. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a natural high. There's nothing better than it. Nothing better than a natural euphoric high. There's nothing better than that. 100%.
And then seeing people that speak for the first time, when we done the Birmingham walk, we met up with Mark, who's a Birmingham City fan, in Solihull, when they'd done the last 6 miles with us. And I was outside the hotel that they all meet us at, and he pulled me to one side and he spoke to me and said, I've never spoken to anybody about this, and explained a lot of stuff to me. And he says, I can't believe what you've done, you know. And I said, look, it's a collective. We've all done this. We're all part of what we believe in. I don't care who you support. I want to reach out to other fans, and for people to open up, come on a walk and just enjoy what is such a special moment. You must have felt, how did you feel on your first walk? Obviously.
Yeah, so it's still, well, I guess it's still classed as this season. It was last year, still this season, and it was the Arsenal walk to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace to Arsenal. So I had to go. As I said, it's the furthest south I've ever been in my life. I can assure you, it was very unusual. Heading over to Selhurst Park and then walking over the big hill. The big southern hill. It kind of reminds me of Mordor, where you've kind of, anything over that is, you have no idea what's going on. And then you come back into normality when you see like the Gherkin. Everybody knows that's the PG-13 name for it, but whatever. And walking down, I wanted to go on my own. I was tempted to contact some friends and say, did you want to come and do this with me? And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own because I want to experience this. I wore my Arsenal shirt and I was ready to walk out of Banana. I think one of the first photos that was taken, I think when you first turned up, actually, I think you took a picture, is me slightly to the right of the picture, and I'm just noshing on a banana.
Yeah.
It's never a good idea when you're in public noshing on a banana, I can assure you. Sort of palming the hair like this as I'm eating it. But, it was great because I didn't have any expectation for it. So there wasn't any point where I was going to be like, oh, that was disappointing. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Just saw it randomly on Twitter one day and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that. I know my mental health and it's quite weird as well because I've grown up with the mentality that the D word, depression, is a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
I've been told that that's a get out of jail free card. Don't say those words. You're too young to be depressed, blah, 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 blah. And I've always said, I'm never going to say the word. But for the last sort of 6 months, I've actually accepted it and gone, do you know what? Yeah, I have depression, but I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to take any supplements to try and defeat it. I've got to try and defeat this in the right way for the longevity purposes, not a short-term fix. So, I walked along and I was kind of on my own, and there was a few moments where I was having a chat with people. I'm a very positive, like when I'm out and about and everything like that. I'm a very happy-go-lucky kind of guy. I'm very eccentric. I'm very
Right.
over the top. I'm very loud. Everybody knows me for that. But when I'm just walking with loads of people that I don't know, I can sometimes go a bit quiet. You know, everybody, you know, I've worked for some of the biggest gaming corporations as, you know, as a live stage presenter numerous times. That's one of my favorite things to do that I've ever done in my life. I worked as a full-time presenter for years. Absolutely adored it. But when it comes to just sort of closing, you know, going to smaller groups and talking about real stuff that's not either football or video games, I'm like, I clam up, completely clam up. So, as I said, I had no real expectation about it. But as I was walking through, people were approaching me. I think people realized, they said to me that they'd done this before, and they realized that I was new to this because, one, I was walking on my own, and two, I wasn't really engaging as much as everybody else was, because I could already see there was friendship groups, and not like there was groups where, you know, people were just sort of sticking together. They were kind of accepting other people within the groups as you were walking, depending on your pace.
Yeah.
But as I was walking, people were coming up to me and actually starting and instigating conversations with me, which I was confused about because this doesn't normally happen at all. But if I'm in a pub in my own atmosphere, you know, because I like to go to pubs and watch a football game, I'll always come out with 2 or 3 friends, 100%. But I need to do it on my terms. But talking about the purpose as to why we were there to begin with is definitely not on my terms. If I was doing this knowing that it was only just Arsenal fans walking with Palace fans, why we were doing that if it wasn't to do with mental health, then I'd be more comfortable because I know it's just football that we're talking about. But deep down, I was like, I know why I'm here. It's a mental health thing. I'm admitting that not that I've got something wrong with me, but I'm struggling.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But people were just coming up to me one after the other from different groups of people, just going, right, what's going on? Who are you? Like, not like that, but you know, what's going on? Just like super friendly. I didn't feel any moment where I felt uneasy, and I started to come out more of my shell in the difficult situation and circumstances that I was in. You know, having a chat with Paul, and everything like that, and have a really good chat with quite a lot of people. Annoyingly, I had to sort of leave at the point of St. Paul's Cathedral once we'd gone over the Wobbly Bridge. Well, it was not called. It's called it's not called the Wobbly Bridge anymore because they fixed it. Well, fixed it anyway. You know, and had some banter with the Crystal Palace fans that they were singing because they were outnumbering us, the Arsenal fans. And we're on the steps of St. Paul's, and there's some pictures of us and some videos of us and everything like that. And I'm just like, oh God. But it was all in the name of fun and a laugh and everything like that. But I felt very comfortable with the people that I was with, considering I'd known them 20 minutes. And I think it's the atmosphere that is breeded because of it. It's a really positive atmosphere. And the annoying thing is sometimes you might get some stigma of football fans walking through, you know, Hollywoodized glamorization of hooliganism. It's not that at all. Not that at all. It's incredible. And to stop for a few pubs along the way at like 10:30 in the morning having a beer, you got sold. You had me at hello.
You got to have a beer. I want to bring that means a lot to me. You know, obviously having created what we have now.
Yeah.
Hearing you say that, a total outsider, should we say, coming in, anybody's welcome. I'm like, I don't care colour, football team you support, really don't care. Just
that's it.
Come along and talk, man. If you're feeling like shit, come along. And do you know what? You find it organically happens, that this community happens, and it is just something that is just, it's still to this day, it blows my mind. I'm freaking proud of everybody that's been part of this journey. Absolutely proud. I also want to single out this guy here, Paul. Paul, come on. Chesterfield Notts County walk. He's a Notts County fan, and we were doing a walk up in Glasgow from Celtic to Livingston on a Wednesday night. Yeah, we were walking Wednesday night. The game was Wednesday, early hours Wednesday morning. We were walking, and the game was Wednesday night. Paul drove up from Nottingham with John, who's another great guy. Met me halfway in Warrington, and we drove up another 3.5 hours to get to Glasgow. We arrived at 2:30 in the morning in Glasgow. We got a cab, and literally as soon as we got out of the cab, we literally had 10 minutes, and we set off for this long ass walk. Great guy. He started to struggle, but do you know what? Fair play to Paul. He didn't want to give up, and that's the whole belief that I totally believe in this. You know, I want to push people to the point that they feel like they want to give up, but then everybody comes around and gathers around and supports them. And to me, that shows to you that there's so many people out there that are willing to help you. So don't go through with what you want to do. Don't do that. That's not the answer. The answer is coming together. Football fans coming together. You know, I reiterate this so many times on social media. Mental health has no colours. You know, us men are dying at an alarming rate.
Yep.
It needs to stop. It
100%.
needs to stop. And I'm challenging football clubs. You know, there's other people that are doing loads of other stuff. There's really good stuff. I want to challenge the FA, for the FA to answer to what I've been doing. You know, I busted myself for this. I know other people have busted themselves for this. And it's a passion that comes within from every one of us that brought so much passion into this. If it wasn't for so many people involved in this, I don't think I would have carried on with this. I think I would have stepped back and just gone. But it's the message. Like, people, when I done Preston, I was in the Fulham end at Preston, and thankfully Preston looked after my bike because my lock got stolen in Watford. Don't even ask. And they were really, really nice, and I changed and so forth, and then got into the ground. People were like, "I can't believe you've done that." And I went. They were talking to me for the first time about their own mental health, and I thought to myself, do I have to break myself for people to open up? If that's the case, so be it. I love a long walk. I adore it. I miss, and I think that's what's hit me this week. It's just miss going out and talking and walking and meeting new people and having such a laugh with people you've never met before. It is just unbelievable. I love each and every one of them. Each and every one of them means so much. And no, to be fair, Paul, mate, you're the man. To me, driving up there, doing what you've done, and then subsequently walking it, and then driving back the next day, and taking 2 days off work to do this for something that you believe in, that to me blows my mind, mate. That's the biggest credit you can ever give me. Like, just to think outside the box. The game was pony, to be fair. Celtic were rubbish. Celtic were rubbish. We agree with that.
Oh, football letting you down? Shocking. That never happens. What are you on about? Alternate universe and that.
And but keep messaging us in, man. We talk with everything. I want to get every one of these people that are messaging us now. I want them on the show. So if like Ed's got a beautiful story, one that I don't think a lot of us can relate to, Ed's story. But Ed's story, I banged on about Ed. Ed's one of the nicest guys I ever met, and recently lost Grandad, who we've spoken about in a few episodes ago. And this is where it got real for me, in the sense that I was invited to the funeral, and to carry Grandad was an absolute honour into church, and it would hold deep to me. And it kind of, again, I look back, I step back, and I think to myself, this is just crazy. This is something that we've all set up. We've all been part of it. Everybody's put time and effort into this, and to see this galvanate and become such an organic part of our lives, and something that we can look forward to week in, week out, it just blows my mind. And I want the best for Ed. I want to get him down to Arsenal. We go, I'll buy him a ticket for the Arsenal. You know, it's not a problem. I just want to see so many people from all walks of life enjoy these walks and be passionate about what we believe in. And you not feeling like you're alone is probably the biggest message I can give anyone watching this now, later, whenever. Please understand, you're not alone. Come on a walk, talk with us, and laugh and be thankful for what we have at the moment. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. You're not You're not wrong. When this all blows over, which I have no idea. As I said, I'm hoping I kind of got it right. You know, I think we're going to try and slowly get back to normal over sort of mid-May. I think London slowly but surely. Obviously, pubs and stuff. I think they're going to be done until end of August, September time. I don't think pubs are going to open that up until then. But when it does open up, and we've got a definitive idea on what's going to be happening with the Premier League season, then yeah, Ed, we've got to go for a beer and just chat the shit with about Arsenal. That's for sure, 100%. Fellow Arsenal fan, I've got to go and chat. I've met him already, obviously, on the Arsenal Crystal Palace walk. So yeah, 100% got to do that. Obviously that extends out to everyone. Like we'll all just go to a pub and just sit and talk and chat, because I'm missing just sitting in a pub.
I'm missing idea. Let me run it by. I think I spoke to you about it. Obviously, with football not being played, a lot of non-league clubs have not got revenue coming in.
No.
So instead of a normal pub, so forth in central London, my local team, Haywards Heath, really, really struggling. And I want to hire out the hall where we can all go in, all have a drink, all talk.
Perfect.
And kind of knowing full well that your money's going into the grassroots football. To me, grassroots football.
Perfect. Perfect.
Is so important.
Yep.
And they're a massive club that have done so much for me personally. And we can get everybody down there knowing full well that this club that don't have much money, just to give them some money, and I'll do a raffle. We put things online. We do something positive for this club.
That sounds like a great idea. I love the idea of supporting grassroots. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Or a little bit further, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, it's not the end of the world. We can all meet up in central London and pay over the top prices for a beer. And not.
I love paying. What are you talking about? I love paying £7 for a 330ml bottle of beer that tastes like, it's been there for 4 years. I love that. What are you talking about? I'm there for the ambiance.
I think, judging by the messages here, I think
we're onto something there.
We're onto something, and
100%.
It's such a lovely club, and they make you feel so welcome. Obviously, we've got a massive affiliation with Dulwich Hamlet as well, who James massive fan of Dulwich Hamlet. Obviously, they've got a lot of supporters. Like Haywards Heath get 87 supporters a week. And to me, thinking outside the box, give them something during these troubled times.
Perfect. I think that's a great idea.
We need positive stories. I think, to me, that's a positive story. If we can do something positive and give something back to the community, and say thank you from us to them, and just hire out their and just have a drink and just catch up with everybody and have a laugh. And no doubt there'll be a few faces down there that a lot of people will recognise. But let's talk about next week's show.
Is it in cement?
Yes,
it's in cement. All right, so you're gonna. All right then. I can't do it. We need a sound effect. I need a sound effect. I need a little drum noise thing. I need to get it on my phone. Go on. Right, go on in.
We have got none other than Paul Moody, ex-Fulham, Millwall, Oxford player. I can't think where else he's played.
He's played around. I was checking it out. Earlier. He's another player as well that looks like he's sort of as progression, a bit like the Paul Konchesky situation. He's kind of come down the leagues to support exactly what Paul Konchesky did, where he's he feels quite a strong pull to sort of mentoring, and supporting the new generation of football players. Whether it be mentally or physically, in regards to helping them develop or hone their skills, because the biggest thing that he said was just practice every day. Just practice every day. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to speaking to Mr. Paul Moody. It's going to be very interesting as well, because he's obviously he's in his 50s. So it's going to be a totally different generation. It's going to be a totally different conversation in regards to. Sorry.
I remember him playing football. Am I that old?
Yes, you are. No, it's fine. But it's going to be a totally different conversation, and he's got he's got a very interesting story. So we are very much looking forward to speaking to Paul Moody in regards to how he handled his career mentally, because
it's definitely got to be one to watch. I've spoken
100%. It's going to be an amazing conversation, and as I said, I'm very much looking forward to speaking to someone of his caliber. But you know, yeah, it's like, but he's had a really it was difficult for him.
Yeah.
All you need to do is go on his Wikipedia. It's been difficult for him, getting on the pitch, playing each week. It was very difficult. So how that was taxing to his mental health is something that we're very much looking forward to, and he is very much open to talking about, which we really appreciate. So that's next week. So obviously 7 p.m. Wednesday, and yeah, that's going to be a great conversation. Absolutely incredible conversation.
And I hope people kind of like go away from this and really look at themselves in the mirror and go, do you know what? I want to come on a walk and I want to change, not me, but change themselves and find this unity that we all have, and this togetherness and this companionship and this camaraderie that we all have, and just find some solace and not go down the route that I went down. If like we've saved, I'm not going to lie to you, we saved quite a few people in this journey, and I don't look at it like we save people. I look at it that you've listened to something that I kind of preach and something that I am not going to give up on. And you've took it upon yourself to look at yourself and seen that there is good out there. There is positivity, and changed your life. It wasn't us. We put you in the direction, but you've seen it.
I can never remember the saying. I always get it wrong. You show a horse the water, you can't get the horse to drink the water. What's that one again? I can never remember it ever.
I personally, to me, I like give a man a fish or eat for one day.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah, that's a good one.
A fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life.
That's it. Sean's nailed it. Just put into the chat. Doesn't have to be the whole walk. That's exactly right, as proven by me. I am proof of this existence. I stopped halfway because I had stuff that I had to do for the rest of the day. I stopped halfway, but I'm here. I'm still here. You can't get rid of me. I'm like a bogey on the old finger, and you just can't.
Don't I bloody know it?
Just like you're just sitting there, you're just like, and then rubbing it on things, like walking past the wall and just like that. You can't get rid of it. So that's exactly right. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Yes,
that's the same.
That's the same. Thank you very much for saying. I'll forget in about 20 minutes, and I'll still try and quote it and get it wrong, because I'm notoriously known for getting quotes wrong. But there we are.
So what I want everybody to do, if you can subscribe, we're so close to 100 subscribers.
Oh no, we nailed it today, mate. We already nailed it.
Have we nailed it?
Yeah, we nailed 100. Yeah.
Have we?
Talker subscribed whilst I was streaming earlier today, and he said, "Oh, well, by the way, I'm your 100th subscriber." And I went, Talker, get in, son. Who is, by the way, a City fan, and is very much on board for the idea of cancelling the season. I don't know why.
On that, what is your stance on that? Obviously,
I have no idea. The thing is,
get away from like I suppose we're living in a negative society at the moment. No one knows what's going on. Everybody's at their end of their tether. Arguments happening left, right, and centre. I've spoken about. I didn't want to massively. I wanted to explain to people how it come about, but now to me, if you come on a walk and I'll explain in depth for 15 hours, there's no problem about that. But I kind of want to end on a nice note. And obviously, I don't want to give Liverpool the league.
No, nobody wants to give Liverpool the league. They'll never shut up. They're intolerable at the moment after winning the Champions League. But obviously, the Eredivisie, they've cancelled their league. France is cancelling their league, which is, come on, Jesus Christ. That's just a one-man band going on there. And the problem is with the Premier League as well, it's got such a variety of players because it is the most watched league on the planet. And everybody knows that football is the world sport. So everybody's kind of watching and waiting to see what the Premier League do. I'm hearing reports all the time. But the most recent one I saw today was they are hoping to play them behind closed doors and running tests on the players every single week. And it's like, Jesus. And have you seen some of the ways that they do? I've not seen it, but I've seen where it goes, where they get like a swab like this long, right? And then
up the nose.
Up the nose. It's like tickling the old noggin from the inside quarters. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Premier League do. But I would rather just finish the league, as much as if they're thinking of the only way they can do this is by just giving the positions that were finished last season and not award anything, i.e. no relegations, no promotions. Everybody just stays as is, and they just get last year's positions. But obviously, that's going to benefit some people and not benefit others. Obviously, Liverpool, they are very much walking away with the league. Everyone kind of just conceded defeat to that.
Yeah.
But that obviously is a major problem. So I do feel for Liverpool fans. They haven't won the league in since the 80s.
So 30 years. Yeah, 30 years.
Yeah, since the 80s. So, it's a really tricky one. But as an Arsenal fan, I'll take last year's results so we can get fifth. And then Man City have been banned from the Champions League. So Champions League! I have no idea.
I think what we should do is wrap it up now. But I just kind of want everybody, if you can, subscribe.
Yeah.
Tell people about us. We ain't going away. Every Wednesday, me and Deke are going to be here talking to you and kind of giving you an update of what's going on and bring you special guests. There's a lot of work that goes into this to bring these people in. We had Paul Konchesky a couple of weeks ago. We had Peter Trainer.
Peter Trainer from Valor Health. By the way, if you go to valorhealth.com, you can use the code WALKTALK to get yourself a free consultation. So if you're finding it very difficult in times that are obviously now, in regards to either speaking to a general practitioner, a physiotherapist even, or a psychiatrist, if you're feeling a little bit low, which we all are, a little bit cabin feverish, then valorhealth.com is definitely the way to go. As I said, use the code WALKTALK because we're collaborating with them. And as I said, you'll get a free 30-minute consultation, which is more time than you would get at an NHS GP, of course, because obviously, as I said, finances and time are stretched, so they find it obviously very difficult. So yeah, it's definitely something to do, even if it's just I don't know, you got a rash or something silly and mundane. Just use it, do it, experience it. It might be something that you might want to do on the longevity. So yeah, valorhealth.com, walk talk. I'm always promoting it all the time, so I can pretty much spiel it off the top of my head.
Yes, I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Literally, if you're a Fulham fan, or Millwall fan, please spread the word that Paul Moody is going to be on. It's
100%.
Very interesting chat. It's going to be honest. It's going to be.
That's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most. The fact that he's willing to come on. He said it himself. He's really struggled with his mental health because of how his career kind of went. I love the fact that he wants to come on and being honest as he is. I think that's what's, even if you're just a football fan wanting to hear
the inside,
just the inside parts. So, sometimes because that's all you see on the newspapers and everything like that. You'll see the glamorized version on their TikToks or their Instagrams with Aubameyang driving around in his chrome-plated Lamborghini. You'll see the highlights, the high versions of what football has to offer. But sometimes you have to come back down to earth and realize, as I've said before many times, that footballers are just normal human beings. And he's willing to come on and be very honest. And I think we need to appreciate that. And we should come and thank him and enjoy the talk.
Also, just if you want to talk about his career or anything, do you remember such and such goal? So, and we're going to talk about obviously men's mental health,
of course,
but we're going to put a nice little spin on it. We don't want this channel to be all doom and gloom. We want it to be fun.
No, that's why we did the football quiz last week, which was amazing.
I think we should do that again.
Oh, 100%. We've already got ideas about how we're going to do the next quiz. So we're not just going to do more football shirts, even though that was fun. We've got a couple of other avenues that we can wiggle down to make it a little bit more different and a little bit more fun, but also not easy. not
Any
ED.
questions? I think most people on this chat have got my number anyway. Any suggestions? Fry it over to me.
Of course.
Or
This is a community thing. I say this all the time on my community, and I've had some people from my community obviously jump into the stream today. So thank you very much from the Drylanders, which is a Deacon thing. Just jump in. It's a community based effort. Yeah, okay, we're doing this and we're sitting and talking, but as Lee has said himself, we want to get as many of you on and have conversations with you, because I want to hear all of the individual takes on what you've got out of it, and so does Lee. At the end of the day, he doesn't need as much bigging up as I may have given him, because he's gonna struggle to get outside to have a cigarette after this is all done, because his head's going to be swelling. The way he wears these hats, because he always
it's the hair.
contained. It's also the hair. He's got the Rick Mail hair going, the Drop Dead Freddy hair going on right now. That's a first world problem there. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. So yeah, please get in contact with Lee on Twitter at Walk and Talk MMH. So follow him, tweet him, annoy him, send him memes, banters, and all that stuff. And most of you got his number as well. So if you've got any ideas about anything, even connections, like I can have a chat with so and so about coming on. Let us know.
Yeah,
Let us know. Everyone's got contacts. Everyone's got a networking system. So every little helps.
Like I said, mate, I've said it before. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We stayed at 10 or 12 during the whole of this hour, and each of them
Consistent.
deserve a lot of credit, and deeply mean from my heart. It's something that does mean a lot to me, and hopefully once this lockdown gets done, we can all meet up at Haywards Heath Football Club, and first round's on me, and we can just all sit back and relax and know full well that grassroots football is getting a bit of payment for.
I think we'll all enjoy that, supporting a bit of grassroots. We love a bit of that.
Well, till next week. Like, subscribe, follow our social medias, Walk and Talk, MMH. Just Google it and you'll see us all over the place. Deacon, it's always been a pleasure, mate.
Mate, great times as always. But I'm really looking forward to next week. Obviously, make sure you're there if you can. That's great. 7 p.m. Wednesday, same time, same place, same channel.
Be good.
See you later.
Keep smiling.